If you are pregnant or you've recently had a baby, this podcast is for you. I am your host, Kath Bequee, a physiotherapist working in women's health and mum of three. Inside my online program, Fitness Mama, I just love helping support women to care for their bodies during pregnancy, prepare their bodies for birth, and support their after-birth recovery, helping them feel confident and strong inside out during this important stage of their lives. In this podcast, join me each week as we dive into all things pregnancy care, childbirth, and postnatal recovery, helping you through every step of the journey. It is absolutely possible to feel amazing and confident in our bodies during this motherhood journey, and I want that for you. Come and say hi to me on Instagram at @fitnessmama, and let's dive into today's episode. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Pregnancy, Birth and Recovery podcast. Today, it's the start of a new year and we're going to discuss goal setting for the year ahead. And these questions I'm going to ask you and that we're going to explore together, I really do think that these have the potential of really setting yourself up to help achieve your health and fitness goals for 2024. And it's not just about health and fitness goals. These are really wellness goals. These are really designed to help you feel amazing inside out. Because whether or not you're pregnant or you're postpartum, these are unique stages of your life that perhaps the typical goal setting isn't going to work for you. For example, if you've got pelvic girdle pain or morning sickness, or you've got a busy house with 3 young children, this goal setting session today is for you. It's designed to help you feel, as I said before, feel better inside out. These goals, these 7 questions are designed to help you feel recharged, rejuvenated. They're designed to help you mentally, physically, with your confidence. Look, you might be goal setting in terms of getting yourself set up for running the next marathon. But if I know my listener well, and I think I do, then you were like what I was a few years ago with perhaps a young family, or you're pregnant for the first time. So today we're discussing 7 questions to help set you up, feel like you, to feel better, to feel amazing inside out for the months and year ahead. So if you're like me, I do love a good, nice, clean calendar, or planner every year. I do love buying something pristine and clean, ready to start the year. And I do like reflecting on the year that has been and the goals ahead. So let's do it together, ladies. 7 questions to ask yourself whether or not you get your calendar out. Your calendar, your new planner out, or even just your notes app or a piece of scrap paper. Write these down, because I do think these are worth mulling over a little bit, talking through with your partner or your husband or your accountability buddy or whoever it is that you have these conversations with. Okay, when it comes to your health and fitness, firstly, I do think one of the biggest mistakes that we can make is to just keep doing what we have been doing. Keep doing what hasn't perhaps worked. So we go back into that sort of procrastination mode, and we basically keep doing what we did last year, and we're sort of ignoring our health and wellness goals. And we think, oh, we will get to that. Oh, I should do that. I want to do that. But then you don't. So the issue with that is that if we keep doing what hasn't worked, then you're going to get the same results and the same progress with your health and fitness goals. And perhaps you're fine and you're happy with that. And if that's the case, perhaps this podcast episode isn't for you. But if you want to feel like you're achieving something new, or you want to really focus on prioritizing you for the months and years ahead, then this is perfect. So 7 questions to unpack. Here we go. What worked in 2023? The number 1 question. So before we even talk about 2024 or the year ahead, and again, you could be listening to this months down the track, but what has worked for you in the previous 12 months with regards to your health and fitness goals? So it's a pretty simple question, but look back and acknowledge your fitness, health, and wellness wins from the past year.
So what worked for you? So, for example, did it work when you had your partner involvement to look after the kids whilst you exercise? So perhaps your partner came home from work early once a week and that was your you time to get out and do what you wanted to. Or did it perhaps work when you did some quick workouts at home with your kids in tow? So rather than waiting for your kids to be out of the equation or your baby to be out of the equation, did it actually work when you involved them in your fitness and your workouts? Or did it work when you pre-scheduled your weekly plan and then you discussed it with your husband or your partner or your accountability buddy? Or perhaps it's something I haven't mentioned. What worked for you in the last 12 months? Now, once you've reflected on what did work in the last 12 months, what didn't work? And again, we are discussing this, like it could be all facets of life, but today we're discussing more with regards to your health and fitness and wellness goals. So it's similar to question one, but let's think about what didn't work. What were your failures? And I say that with air quotation marks. What were the not so good moments from the past year? And I'll provide some examples just to get those thoughts, those brain juices flowing. So, did the expensive gym membership go to waste because it was too hard to even get there with your young family? Or did you perhaps set an exercise goal that just felt unachievable, felt heavy, and thus you lost your motivation? Or did you not enjoy the type of exercise you were doing? Did you really have this heavy feeling and thinking, oh, I need to go and, you know, go for that swim, even though you hate getting wet, for example? So what didn't work? And just write it down. Don't think too much about it. Just whatever comes up, just write it down. Question number 3. And from these, from 1 and 2, what are your lessons? What did you learn from this last year? What did your wins and losses teach you? See if you can write down at least 3 lessons. So for example, did you realize that you only like to work out in the morning? Or perhaps you only like to work out, or the only time you actually do work out is when your baby's lying on the mat next to you and your toddler's joining in on a quick 10-minute workout. Or is it when you involve a friend and you go for a walk with your friend in the pram? Like what did work for you and what felt good and what was easy and what was achievable? What were your wins? What did your wins and losses teach you? Question number 4. What do you want to stop doing that would improve your quality of life? And this can sometimes be a really hard question to answer. So look at the areas of your life and work out what actions and activities, what isn't congruent with the life that you want to live. So for example, have you been procrastinating over exercising and just not doing it, finding a better reason? Or have you been blaming a lack of time? Saying, I just don't have time to exercise. I'm too busy. It's not possible. Have you been blaming the lack of money? Everything out there is too expensive. Or have you been blaming the lack of support? I don't know what to do. It's too expensive to go and see a physio face to face. Like, is there anything what do you want to stop doing that would improve your quality of life? They were just a few examples. Maybe it's different. And maybe you don't have anything that you want to stop doing. Okay, number 5. If you had a magic wand to make your life, your fitness, your wellness exactly the way you want it to be, how would it look? So wave your magic wand. And the more clear and detailed you go with this, the better. Be realistic. Think about the season of life that you're in. Think about the season of motherhood. So how old are your children? How much spare time do you have? How much support do you have? So, for example, there might be no point in wanting to do a daily workout at a gym if you have no time, support, and resources available for you. So, this is where if we could wave a magic wand And how could you make your life and fitness exactly the way you want it? How would it look? But let's think about waving that magic wand in a way that would suit you and your family and your lifestyle at the way that it is. So what is achievable and realistic given that your current season of life? And now wave that magic wand. So at this stage, there might be a little bit of contradiction here in terms of your magic wand. Like, in the ideal world, what would you want it to look like? And then realistically, how would it look? And then you can see if we can marry up these two different visions. And perhaps that magic wand vision is your long-term goal, something that you want to work towards and achieve perhaps in 12 months, 2 years, 5 years' time, when your lifestyle, your season of motherhood has changed. But you can still have that magic wand and have that glimpse of what you want to achieve, how you want to look, how you want to feel, and then think, right, at my current season of life, what's achievable and realistic? So with that in mind, what desires do you have for this coming year? What are your fitness and wellness goals for this next 12 months? Now, let's also ask yourself your why. I should have put this perhaps earlier, but why do you want to achieve these goals? Why do you want to accomplish these goals? And as above, let's be realistic with these goals. So for example, are you pregnant with pelvic girdle pain and you just want to be able to stay pain-free, be able to run around with your toddler? Or do you have higher fitness goals that need to be worked towards gradually, like getting to that next marathon? So if you do have some higher level goals and those magic wand goals, what are some stepping stones to help you achieve these higher level goals? How do you want to feel at the end of the year? So not just what do you want to do at the end of the year, but how do you want to feel in your body and in yourself? So number 6 was, what desires do you have for this coming year? Again, don't think about it. Just jot down whatever comes to mind. And then the last question is, what's one small action that you can take today to help with your fitness and wellness goals for the upcoming year? I'm a firm believer of building blocks. Each time we do something for ourselves, it's an extra building block added. And before we know it, we've got a whole building that's been built. So it doesn't matter how big or how small, like even 10 minutes of exercise can make a huge difference to how we are feeling inside out, mentally, how we're managing with the day, like physically, how strong we're feeling, how, if we're feeling less stiff, less aches and pains. Even 10 minutes is amazing. So today, what can you do? Can you go for that 10-minute walk around the block? Can you finally join that home-based workout membership? This is where we insert a winky face that you've had your eye on for a few months. So there you go, ladies. 7 questions. Feel free to listen to this podcast again, get that notes app out, or get the pen and paper down. No right and wrong answers, but the more you can jot down, it can just really help to reflect upon the year that has been and the year ahead. And a quick reminder that if you would like to come and join us for free 7 days, then head to the link in the show notes, fitnessmama.com, free 7-day trial, pregnancy and postpartum workouts that you can do from the comfort of home whilst your bubba sleeps, while your bubba kicks around on the mat next to you at the end of a long day at work. Toddlers can be involved. It can just help you to tick off that 10 minutes, that building block to help you feel better, to help you feel stronger, to help you feel amazing inside out. Have a fabulous day, ladies. And I look forward to you joining me very soon for another episode of the Pregnancy, Birth and Recovery podcast. Thanks for listening to the Fitness Mama podcast, brought to you by the Fitness Mama freebies found at www.fitnessmama.com/free. So please take a few seconds to leave a review, subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and be sure to take a screenshot of this podcast, upload it to your social media, and tag me at FitnessMama so I can give you a shout out too. Until next time, remember, an active pregnancy, confident childbirth, and strong postnatal recovery is something that you deserve. Remember our disclaimer, materials and contents in this podcast are intended as general information only and shouldn't substitute any medical advice, diagnosis or treatment. I'll see you soon.